Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to modify the notification settings for Google Classroom. So to get started, you'll want to go to classroom.google.com if you're on a Chromebook or a computer. If not, if you're on a mobile device, then you can go to the Google Classroom app and it'll be the same steps for that. So once you get to that website or the app, your screen should look something like this with your classes listed in rows. So to get to the notification settings, you'll want to click on this menu bar in the top left and scroll all the way down until you see settings. It's right at the bottom. So this is your settings page. Here you have your account settings and your notification settings. So first you'll want to make sure you have notification settings turned on right here. It's the first one and it says email. So Google Classroom will only notify you through email. So you'll want to make sure this is turned on. So I would recommend having email notifications turned on for Google Classroom, especially for students in school this year, due to more than at least half of school learning being online. You'll want to know when your teachers are posting assignments, when they're making announcements, things like that. So it's important to have these notifications turned on. Here there are different subcategories of notifications. So here is the comments category. These first two options talk about comments that you would leave in the stream of a classroom as a student. So these aren't entirely important, but you could definitely have the notifications turned on if you'd like. But this third option is important. It says private comments on work. I would strongly recommend keeping this turned on because a lot of times under your assignments, a teacher will leave a private comment giving you feedback about the assignment, or maybe the teacher will have a question about your work, and then you can reply to your teachers right under your assignment through private comments. This way, the teacher doesn't have to make a full announcement to the classroom if they want to talk about just your work. So I would recommend keeping these notifications turned on so that you know when your teacher wants to talk about an assignment with you. And then this next category says classes you're enrolled in. So this first option underneath that says work and other posts from teachers. Again, I would strongly recommend keeping this one turned on too. So you'll want to know when your teachers are assigning homework or classwork or making announcements because that's basically instead of handing you worksheets and homework, a lot of teachers are going to be assigning you work through Google Classroom this year. So it's important to know when you're getting homework and classwork. And then the second option says returned work and grades from your teachers. This one's a personal preference. If you'd like to see what grades you get as soon as your teachers release those grades and return your work to you on Google Classroom, then this is a good option to keep those notifications turned on. And then this third one says invitations to join classes. I'd say this is important to have turned on as a notification in the beginning of the year because that's when you're joining your classes and you'll want to make sure you're in the right ones. But if you're already in all of your classes, then you don't really need this one turned on unless you want it turned on. And then this last one says due date reminders for your work. So this one is also a personal preference. Some students have their own calendar outside of Google Classroom and they don't need additional reminders from Google Classroom about their assignments. That's fine, then you don't need these notifications turned on. But if you would like reminders from Google Classroom, then you can have it turned on because it's a pretty useful resource to have. And then here, so if you have this arrow pointed downwards, you'll want to make sure it's pointed upwards by clicking on it. Here, this is a pretty important section. It's class notifications. So none of those options above will work if you don't have your class notifications turned on for that class. So you'll want to make sure all of your classes have this blue button so the notifications are turned on for each class, or then you won't know what's going on in the class. So once you have class notifications turned on and you've made all your changes, everything will be saved. You don't have to click any buttons or anything else after that. So you're all set.